Hey everybody, welcome back to the shop for another week of Saturday Night Special. I want to start off by thanking my brand new channel sponsor, WD-40 Company, for jumping on board and sponsoring this video. I really appreciate it, guys. So this episode, we're going to have a big mixture of different content for you. There's been a lot of stuff going on in the shop. I've been doing different things. I've been doing jobs. I've been doing some crating. We've got all kind of viewer mail stuff going on, so there's just going to be a different mixture of things for this episode. We're going to start off by doing some mill maintenance. I want to come down here to the DoAll mill, and we're going to use some of the WD-40 Industrial Cleaner Degreaser and go ahead and give the mill a good wash down. I've been putting that off for a very long time, and it was nasty and dirty, and I want to get that thing cleaned up. So we're going to go ahead and get to that now and get that done. I've got some viewer mail here that I've been putting off, and a really cool handmade gift. We got some tooling, and I want to share that with you. I've got some crating over here I've been working on. Last episode I was talking about some of the Kurt vises and other things that I've been trying to get rid of and selling. So I put some crates together, and I wanted to share a little bit of that footage with you. I just thought it'd be something fun, a little bit different to add to the mix around here. So I got some of that, and I'm just continuing to capture and share whatever it is I get into around here, and everything that I work on. So there's going to be some more footage of different jobs that I'm getting into. There was some barn door hardware that I was on that I'm going to have some dedicated videos on as well. Probably next week we're going to have an episode of that. We're going to be working on some hardware, doing some machining on some rollers, some pins, got some brackets we had to do some drilling on. So there's plenty of content coming at you, okay? So let's go ahead and get to it. This is a really nice handmade gift from Joseph Jordan from Custom Technology Solutions. And he made this cool drill gauge out of a piece of wood. Looks like it's been laser cut. So thank you, Joseph, very much for that. He's got the A-Bomb 79 logo cut into it. Very cool. I always love the handmade gifts. So thank you very much, Joseph. Really nice. So thank you to Terry Rollins from Lavaca, Arkansas, and he sent me these two cutters right here. One of them is an 1¼ inch Putnam roughing end mill. This is a fine pitch roughing end mill, and this appears to be brand new, never used, and these are excellent for deep reach applications. I've used these a lot over the years, and they're fine cutters to use. Also got an 1¼ inch tap, 1¼ inch 7. This is a Pratt & Whitney. And Terry also, he is retired, and he says that he, as a hobby in his retired age, he likes to buy and sell used machine tools. So I'll have his email up there on the screen if anybody is interested in contacting him. He buys and sells many machine tools throughout the years. He says he actually buys a lot of them from Grizzly as well that need repair, and he repairs them and then he sells them. So I know a lot of the guys out there in the home shop are looking for affordable price machine tools to get started in their home and hobby shops as well. So Terry may be a good source to contact for a lathe or a mill or something like that. So Terry, thank you for the cutters, man. I really appreciate it. So a few weeks back I was showing you cleaning up all of my milling cutters here, and one of those milling cutters had this company logo on there, which was the Go and Go company, and I had mentioned in that video that I had never seen the Go and Go company before, and it turned out that Go and Go company stands for Goddard and Goddard Company, which is another reputable company that sold milling cutters, such as this shell mill right here, this being a 2-inch cutter. All right, so one of my viewers by the name of Vaughn Weisbecker from Moab, Utah, contacted me and had this catalog from Goddard and Goddard Company and wanted me to have it. And it is one of those beautiful catalogs from the 40s that was just so elegantly made. Goddard and Goddard, tools that go and go. Just absolutely love it. And I believe this one was from 1947. I just love these old tool catalogs. I showed Abby this too, and she loved it. She said she's never seen this done before either, this opening page right there. You see how you open it up and it looks like the page is curled back. Just a neat way to design that. and it's got the finger pulls over here on the side, and you see it's got the chapter or the index there, and it goes over to where the finger pulls is. So pretty cool. So they specialize in milling cutters, so they got the list of all the different type of milling cutters in here. And what's neat about all these old catalogs like this is that it's another learning tool. All right, so so I've shown tools such as this right here, milling cutters, slab mills. And whenever you can go through these catalogs and these books like this, it allows you to learn what these cutters are that you may not realize what they are. I mean, look at this right here. Do you see what this looks like? This to me looks like a blower. This piece that they're milling, something that pumps air. And I've never seen how those are profiled and machined. It looks like they used a milling cutter there to, 13-inch diameter rotor, having 3 lobes set at a 31-degree helix angle. That's pretty cool. So, as I said, you can go through these catalogs and you can look. They've got a lot of pictures in this particular book here that shows the old machine tools being used with their cutters and how they were used. So just very, very cool seeing all the old machines being run and all these old cutters and how they were used. So love these old catalogs, all the old books, and I like to share them whenever viewers send them to me. So Vaughn, I really appreciate you sending it to me. This is an excellent book. It's been well taken care of. It's got, see all their milling cutters in there as well. So it's a neat book. There you go. I got a question that I'm commonly asked in my videos, and that is, how do I keep my shop and machines so clean? And it's a real simple answer, and is I have to do it myself. I have nobody around here that cleans for me, and I have nobody that comes in here and does it, so I do it myself. So it's just a task that any shop owner or anybody that works in the shop, they have to do. They have to clean the machines. You have to clean the chips out of the machines, which I don't do all that often. You can see in the Monarch over there, I clean them out when I need to, but this milling machine over here has been bothering me for a while because it collects the whey oil down at the bottom down there, and I'll show you. And I've been wanting to try to get this thing cleaned up for some time. So I'm going to go ahead and tackle this job today and get it cleaned up. And I just got through doing a big job over here, doing a bunch of drilling. There's chips everywhere. I got cutting oil everywhere. So let's get this thing cleaned up. All right, you can see the big mess down here in the bottom of the DoAll mill. And most of this down here is the whey oil from the pump oiler on the other side that oils the ways. You gotta oil it. That's very important. But it drains down and drips down to the bottom down here. All right, and then some of this is cutting oil and stuff that collects to the bottom as well. So I want to go ahead and get all this cleaned up, and we're going to go ahead and clean the whole mill there as well, get it freshened up and get it looking spiffy again. So we're going to go ahead and use our WD-40 specialist. This is the Industrial Cleaner and Degreaser, and this is some pretty good stuff. I've been using it around the shop, and it works real good. Doesn't have a lot of odor. It's not toxic. It's biodegradable, and it works really good. So let's put this to use and get this mill cleaned up today. Alrighty? To start with, I'm just going to go ahead and take some of this. You can see how much oil's down there. We got a lot of chips too. I'm just going to go ahead and pour some of this down in there, just to help break up the oil. And then I'll soak it up and wipe it out. We'll let that soak in a bit and wipe it around. I'm just going to use some of my oil absorbent mats here. I'm going to put them all the way around there so it doesn't get all over the concrete. All right. Start getting this stuff mixed in there. What a mess. My plan is, once I get this clean real good, I'm going to line the base of this with this oil oil absorbent mat so that it will stay clean for a while. It's been a while since I cleaned the mill. I want to say that it was 2013 whenever I actually brought the mill into the shop here is the last time that I cleaned this mill completely. So going on, I believe it's right at 6 years now. All right, we're finally getting somewhere, and I like using these mats, these oil absorbent mats, because I just buy it by the big roll at a time, and you know, and you just soak everything up and you throw it away. So its stuff is doing real good. You can see I'm getting down to the paint there. You got a real thick, heavy layer of oil that's just down on it's been on this mill for a long time. The more I rub it, it's getting it out of there. So I'm just getting this first initial layer up, and we're going to come back and we're going to clean it some more and get the rest of it up. All right, we're almost there. You see these real concentrated areas that are real hard to get? We're going to go ahead and we're using our cleaner. I'm going to go ahead and coat it down again, get some more cleaner on there. I'm going to spray over here on the side of the mill too, get that kind of broken up. I'm going to take this black Scotch-Brite right here, and you just work it with that Scotch-Brite. Just got to be able to agitate it some more than what the just regular rag will do, and it'll cut that right into it and knock it right out of there. Get every bit of that out of there. Look how much nicer that column base looks, man. I'm so glad to see all that oil out of there. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of the column cleaned up now. You can see this is the original green that the machine used to be, and then back whenever my dad was going through his phase on, he wanted everything painted this gray color. He had us paint it. I preferred the green color, but that was my dad's decision. This is our one-shot oiler here. You pull this handle down to push the oil to all of the weigh points. Okay, we've got the machine clean now, and I'm going to go ahead and get my rubber mats back on the table. I've had a lot of guys ask me about these mats, so I thought I'd go ahead and pull this into the video. So first thing I'm going to do is just use a regular WD-40 lubricant, you know, WD-40 multi-use product there, and I always just coat coat the table down real good, and I always just coat the vise down real good too. And so this is the rubber mats that I use, that I have everybody ask me about. Now this is made out of just Buna N rubber, and I bought this from a fellow off of the Practical Machinist forums probably 6 or 7 years ago, and I think this was like a one-time thing. He had a roll of this stuff that he was selling it. He had it made specifically for this size table, you know, 9-inch Bridgeport type tables, and he was selling it by the foot, and I bought some of it. So I don't think he's got any more of it left. So I mean, that's where I got it from. I can't tell you who I bought it from. So I just coat it down with WD-40, to lubricate it, and I've got it cut there. It's got this rib in the center that fits the T-slot, and you have to shove it in there. So I got these cut so that it fits the end of the table, and you shove it down in there. It keeps it in place, and these little ribs in there allows you to like lay tools on there, and it keeps them in place. So I'll slide the vise down. I've got it cut to where it lays right up against it, and I got my wrench around here somewhere. All right, so there's that side, and see, it's a nice tool mat there that you can lay your tools on. I like to coat it down with WD-40 to give it a nice sheen. And then you can put your cutting tools and your wrenches right there on top of it. Just do the same with this side here. Wet it down with some WD-40, makes it look good. Just makes the machine look nice and oiled and shiny. Alright, as I said, I was going to put some oil absorbent mats down here, so I took a couple of them, I cut them in half, and I'm going to go ahead and lay them down in here. You can see right here on each side of the ways where the oil runs down, and it just accumulates down here in the bottom. So I'm going to put a couple down here on each side, and we'll put one more across the back there as well, just like so. All right, and then those will absorb the oil and help keep it clean. You know, as those soak up oil, I can pull those out, throw them away, and wipe it out. It'll help keep it a little more clean over time. All right, man, we finally have a clean little DoAll mill. I've been waiting to get to this for a while, and I finally got to it, and I'm happy with it. The base is good and clean. Looks good. It's ready to get back to work, make some chips, and start making some money around here. So, all right. Big thanks to WD-40 Company for sending out this cleaner degreaser for me to try out. It works really good, so give this stuff a shot. It works really good for cleaning your machinery around here, no matter which one it is. You've seen it. It works great. I will point out a couple things that I like about it. For one, it's not corrosive and toxic like some of the other kind are, you know, where it gets on your skin, and you know, it doesn't have that slimy toxic feel where it burns your skin if it does get on your skin. The other thing I like about it too is it has like a clean soapy smell to it. That's just something else that I really like about it. It's just it has a very pleasant odor to it, so it works really well. All right, so there we go, cleaned up mill. Let's go ahead and get back to work. So I've been slapping together some crates for these 3 vises. I posted this in a recent SNS that I had them for sale, and I had a bunch of guys email me with interest, and I got them sold. So I wanted to be able to ship these things without them breaking out of a stupid cardboard box. So I picked up some wood and making a proper crate for them. So that's what we're doing. I thought I would show you a little bit of footage of that. I'm not much of a woodworker, but I think I can build a crate for them. So let's see how they fit. If I can get it down in there. I got them where they fit just about perfect. I'll have to put a couple little straps in there just to kind of hold them in place. I put some handles on there so that people could easily pick it up, including myself whenever I go to. I got the FedEx place is like right up the street, so I'm just going to take them up there and drop them off. That way I don't have to wait around for them to show up, you know. There we go. So I'll strap them in there. We got our handles. We got our handles that go in there. We got our lids that go on there. So that'll work out pretty good right there. I'm loving my new miter saw, and the table saw makes doing this kind of stuff really, really convenient, a lot faster. I was working away in there in the shop doing some turning when the Southeastern guy walked in and said he had something for me. Nice heavy shipment of iron. So this is some stuff that I won at an auction that was up north, and I was able to do a absentee bid on it. So they actually had me on the phone whenever they were auctioning these 2 guys off, and I won them. I surprisingly won them. I didn't think that I would, because there was a lot of people there apparently, but really cool. We have another 8-inch reed vise. This is like the one that I've already got. You can see the reed there, maybe you can. And then we have a big, this is a double horn anvil here. I can't remember the make. I have it wrote down, but we'll check it out later. I need to get it unstrapped and taken up to the shop. All right, here's a little better look at the two items here. There's our vise. I swear it looks bigger on the pallet here than it does. You know, this is the one that I've already got and cleaned up. It's the same exact model, but it just looks bigger down here on the pallet. And there's the anvil. So it's a Foster and wood anvil. It says it's 308 pounds, but since I got a scale now, I plan on weighing them and see what they weigh. I want to see if this reed matches what I already have, and that's what I'll be using to get them into the shop there. A machine that's high on my list of wants is a forklift, but here's how I got it. So there's the pallet right out there, and got a board there to help transition to the concrete. And I got our old trusty hand dolly here that always works really good. Got those big wheels on it. Pretty well balanced right here. And we will go ahead and get this thing rolled into the shop. Got the vise already in here. Just like that. 300-pound anvil. Easy to move it with that dolly there. All right, we got it picked up, and I got my brand new scale right here. Let's see what this thing actually weighs. All right, it's set to 0. Looks like it's quite a ways off from what they said it weighed. 270 pounds. The tag on it claims that it is a 308-pound anvil. You see it on the tag right there. 308-pound Foster and wood. Now that's probably, I haven't gone off of the numbers stamped on here for your stone weights. I haven't added that up, but there's our actual reading though, 270.5 pounds that this thing weighs. But that's a little disappointing. That's almost 40 pounds lighter than what they said that it actually weighs. So anyway, the anvil seems to be in pretty good shape. It was probably well used on the top. It's got some wear down in there, but it doesn't really matter. It's still it's a fine anvil. All right, we got the reed hanging over us now. There's our scale turned on, reading 0. I got to get me a battery for this thing so I can drop the cord. I just don't have one handy yet. All right, we got a little bit more weight on this one than the reed that I've already painted up, cleaned up. So it's saying 251.5. So trying to remember what this one, I'll have to go back in my pictures and flash it up there so you can see. I believe it was somewhere around 240 or 243 pounds. So we're very close to what the painted reed looks like. Very cool. I will say this one's in really good shape. This one's in a lot better condition than the one that I've already cleaned up and painted. There's a little bit of weld pattern on there, which is absolutely normal because that's what they were used for, was for shop work. But I just see very little spatter on there. The sides, everything looks really clean on the sides. Even the jaws, the serrations in the jaws are in still really pretty shape. So that was a really good find on that vise right there. These things are pretty hard to find, and whenever you do find them for sale, they can come at a very high premium price. So I was happy to jump on that. This is just something that I love. I have really fallen in love with these old vices like this, especially the big heavy ones. So it's just something that I like to collect now. Some of these, the vices that I collect and clean up will be for sale eventually. I've already let a couple of them go, but I'm just picking them up when I can, as I can afford to anyway. We got another really cool delivery today. Some of you guys might recognize it. So my friend Aaron Durda out there in Phoenix, Arizona. Yeah, this is from him. He recently went to an auction out there, a machinery auction, and he bid and won this Reed 208 vise. And after he got it home, playing with it for a little while, he contacted me and asked me if I'd be interested in buying it from him. So I was, because I've got a 108 and this is a 208 which has the swivel base. So I wanted this one for my collection as well. They're very hard to come by, especially for a decent price these days. So let's see if we can get her cut open here. Got the one-handed it. Oh yeah, there we go. Don't look bad. Been used like normal. So there you go, number 208. It's probably hard to see with the sunlight right there. Aaron did a good job of palletizing it right here. He got some extra boards there and bolted it to it. He strapped the handle there so it wouldn't be flopping around. So I appreciate the extra effort there. And we used YRC Freight. I think that's also known as Yellow Freight. They seem to have pretty good rates on moving this stuff around. That's what Andrew also used to ship me the big grinder and the 108 vise. So keep that in mind for you guys looking for, you know, quotes on moving heavy stuff. LTL Freight, YCR seems to be the way to go. Okay, let's see what this thing weighs. The Reed 208. By the way, I found a battery finally. Put a 9-volt in there, so we're reading on 0. Oh boy. Make sure all the weight's off of it there. 292 pounds. That's a heavy vise. We were estimating this one around 275 based off one of the old catalogs, but that was the older version. That was the bullnose vise from a 1945 catalog. I don't have any catalogs that have the newer generation Reed vices in it that has more of the flat nose handle on there. But that's pretty cool. 292 pounds. That is a big vise. All right, we got her clamped down. I just want to kind of give it a little quick once over and see what kind of shape it's in. It's definitely in normal use condition. There's really nothing wrong with it other than it's just really dry. Appears to have been maybe used outside some, or maybe it was sitting by a door, you know, where rain blew in on it, because there's a lot of rust right here on the top. All right, I will say that it's very dry. I started unscrewing the handle here. Do you see that? How you like that? Isn't that nice? Oh yeah. So it has not been oiled or greased or anything in a very long time. I think this is probably one that's just been kind of sitting for a while, and you know, and then it got shuffled around. So it's in good shape. This has got the just the solid jaws. These are not replaceable jaws in here, and they seem to be in good shape. You got the swivel base right there. Everything's just really, really dry. So it just needs to come apart and do a really good cleaning on it, just like I did the other one. There's you a better look at the jaw on that side. It's pretty good. They always have a lot of wear here on the side there. It seems like over the life of a lot of vices, you do a bunch of work right here on this side of the vise, but it seems to be pretty normal. And then there's the fixed jaw. Again, about the same condition as the other one there. Pretty happy about this. I've been lusting over one of these 208s for some time now, and I'm real happy that I finally own one. So a really cool vise to have. I just love these things. I know they're not for everybody, but I just love them. So thanks, Aaron, for giving me the opportunity to purchase this from you. I know there's probably a lot of guys out there that were asking you about selling this to them, but thank you for giving me the opportunity. I really appreciate it. So we're going to make this another project on the channel. We'll get it all apart, get it really cleaned up well, and get a fresh coat of paint on it, oil it, and put it back together. All right. I got all three of these things ready to go. I'm getting ready to take them down to the FedEx store, go down to their rightful owners. So I got them all properly weighed. So we've got 94 pounds, 86 pounds, and 96 pounds, and that's with the crate there. So the wood added about 10 pounds for the crate, but they're well strapped in there and well protected. So we're getting ready to throw them on the truck there and take them down there. Also, while I was doing it, I built a crate for the Bison Super Spacer. So we got that guy right there crated up, and you can see it weighs 157 pounds. It's nice and stout. It is heavy. We also got this guy. This is going to be coming up soon too. That's a 12-inch Troik rotary table. I'd like to get this one out and get it cleaned up and give it some nice curb appeal, because it looks really nasty and dirty right now. But there's nothing wrong with it. It's been sitting for a long time, so it looks really dirty. So I want to get that out and get that cleaned up too. So real happy that these guys are sold, and they're going to some homes. All the guys that messaged me about these, they're very excited to get their hands on these. One of the guys was real happy to get this because it'll be his very first vise, his first milling vise. So he's ready to get it and put it to use on his machines. So there we go.